The swamplands of South Florida are among this country's most biodiverse ecosystems and provide for great birding opportunities. These wetlands provide refuge for a lot of peculiar-looking creatures, and the bird life is no exception. The anhinga, sometimes called snakebird, is an unusual water bird. Everything about their anatomy is perfectly designed for pursuing fish underwater, except for their feathers. The feathers do not repel water and are prone to being waterlogged. However, this can work in the anhinga's favor. The waterlogged feathers permit the bird to slowly sink and easily maneuver through the water. Using its spear-like beak, the anhinga catches a small fish. While not enough to satisfy its appetite, there are endless opportunities for food out here in the swamp. These peculiar chicken-like birds are gallinule, sometimes called moorhen. Gallinule are akin to rail and coots that live in fresh and brackish water wetlands. While they don't have webbed feet, these birds swim like ducks throughout the swamp as they search for food. They are omnivorous, meaning that they feed on both plants and animals. These swamps are also home to America's only native stork species. This is the wood stork, a species only found here in the South. Wood stork prey upon fish, amphibians, crustaceans, mice, and sometimes even baby alligators. This oddity of a bird is the roseate spoonbill. They're both a little majestic and a little ugly. Often confused for flamingos, spoonbills are not a close relative. However, they do share one trait. The pink feathers are a result of their diet. The crustaceans they consume contain pigments known as carotenoids. To catch their prey, they use their namesake to sweep through the water, feeling for any potential prey. Sensory receptors inside the beak help them detect movement. Back in New Jersey, along the Rockaway River, a loud drilling call echoes throughout the land. The belted kingfisher is perhaps the loudest of river residents, making their presence known with their iconic call. As their name implies, kingfishers prey primarily on fish, and they do so by patiently waiting on an overhanging limb. The kingfisher returns to its perch with a freshly caught fish that will be quickly swallowed whole. Nearby, the largest of our American herons searches for its next meal. Great blue herons will feed on nearly anything that moves, using their long neck and sharp spear-like bills to catch prey. While primarily fish hunters, this heron spots something moving on land. A meadow vole. The heron dunks the vole into the water, making this furry critter easier to swallow. Moments like this showcase the brutality of nature. While this may seem upsetting, it's important to remember the critical role that predators like the heron play in our ecosystems. The river flows into a reservoir, a man-made body of water that can provide habitat for a plethora of bird species. Sometimes confused for ducks, loons winter in these lakes and reservoirs, and as spring sets in, they regrow their iconic summer plumage. Winter lasts a little longer up north, so the loons will wait here in Boonton before they can return to the Northwoods lakes. Loons are thought to be among the most ancient lineage of birds, with fossils dating back millions of years. Their closest relatives are grebes, like this pied-billed. Loons and grebes feed primarily on fish, which they catch by diving underwater. A large group of blackbirds drift by. These are double-crested cormorants, returning to their summer range. The cormorant is a close relative to the anhinga, sharing the same hunting technique. This group of cormorants is known as a gulp. Working together, they push schools of fish into shallow water, making them easier to catch. Like the anhinga, cormorant feathers are not fully waterproof and must be aired out to prevent getting waterlogged. In our last video, we took a look at some shorebirds that live up to the family name. However, not every member of this group lives on the coast. On the muddy reservoir shores live the killdeer and spotted sandpiper. Killdeer are a large and loud species of plover. The spotted sandpiper is a common freshwater species, known for its funny teetering movement. The exact reason for this movement is not known, but some speculate that it could help the birds balance on uneven terrain. During migration season, I sometimes come across coastal species here in Bhutan. The late summer drought creates these mudflats, which makes for a perfect rest stop for species like this migrating yellowlegs. Male songbirds grace the morning with their majestic melodies. The song is performed from atop a perch, and is used to establish territory and attract females. Singing is often done in the early morning, when low light conditions make it difficult for them to be spotted by predators. One of my favorite songs is that of the song sparrow, a fairly common species that can be found in all sorts of habitats. Not all songs are original, however. Gray catbirds, named after their notable meow-like call, will often mimic other songbirds as they sing. While technically not songbirds, the mourning dove's mystic coo is one of the most ear-pleasing songs in nature. Cooing is done by the male in order to attract a mate. Doves are socially monogamous. This means that they form pair bonds and work together to raise young. Preening each other's feathers is a sign of affection in the bird world. Another iconic spring bird song can be heard out in the countryside, and in recent decades, even in our own backyards. Wild turkeys are the largest upland game birds in the United States. They are loved by hunters, not only for the meat, but the challenge. Turkeys have great vision and smell. They are also very wary of any potential threats, making them an elusive quarry. Male turkeys are called toms, or gobblers. They get the name gobbler from their mating call. Females are called hens, and their little offspring are poults. After the spring mating season, the hens will raise their poults. Sticking together is a survival tactic used by many birds. 2 or more hens will often group together, traveling the forest with their poults trailing behind. Turkeys are omnivorous, feeding on anything they can find, like seeds, berries, snails, insects, and salamanders. As the summer sun hangs high in the sky, the little flock of turkey explore their home range. Whenever I take a walk through the forest, I often hear a loud drumming sound. Woodpeckers are among my favorite kind of birds to observe in the wild. Here in the Garden State, there are 7 species. While each one comes in a different size and color, they all share a few distinct features. Most woodpeckers have 4 toes, 2 in the front and 2 in the back. This gives them better grip than most birds, allowing them to climb straight up tree trunks. Their tail feathers are stiff, providing balance. And the most notable feature of woodpeckers is its chisel-like beak. The beak is designed for drilling holes into trees to either create a nest or pursue prey. Starting at the base of a tree, woodpeckers will clamber up, using their strong vision to spot any wood-boring insects hidden in small holes and cracks. When they can't spot insects, they use a process called drumming. They make vibrations in the tree, then listen for any disturbed insects. When they've found a spot worth drilling, the woodpecker anchors in with its tail and claws and gets to work. They can peck about 20 times per second. A thick skull, small brain, and strong neck muscles prevent any form of serious injury. By mid to late May, the green leaves regrow, cloaking the forest. Hidden by this blanket of greenery, birds can be difficult to spot during this time of year. One of the best chances of finding a bird, or any creature for that matter, is to find its feeding spot. A small clearing with some red cardinal flowers help us find the smallest bird in this area. One of the most awe-inspiring of summer migrants is the hummingbird. These tiny avians are swift flyers, making about 70 wing beats per second. There's only one species of hummingbird east of the Mississippi, and that's the ruby-throated. This female sits on a skinny branch, taking a quick break from foraging. These birds have the highest metabolic rate of any animal, which means they burn calories incredibly fast. In flight, a hummingbird's heart beats about 1,200 times per minute. For reference, the human heart beats about 150 times per minute while running. Because of their insanely fast metabolism, hummingbirds need nectar every 10 to 15 minutes in order to survive. While they feed on many different types of flowers, ruby-throats have a preference for red flowers. Another fast-flying bird is the peregrine falcon. In fact, these falcons are among the fastest animals on the planet, reaching speeds of up to 240 miles per hour. However, they aren't born speedy. This young falcon has just left the nest, and has not yet mastered the art of flight. The blue jay is a notorious bully in the bird world, often seen scaring off other avians from feeders. When it comes to harassing other birds, they don't stop at songbirds. Many times they'll go after raptors that they feel are a threat to their territory. This clumsy little falcon is an easy target. Once the falcon matures, the blue jay will keep its distance. Peregrine falcons are not only fast, but maneuverable, being able to catch prey in mid-air. We can't talk about fast flyers without mentioning swallows, a family of birds that are adapted to life on the wing. In the wild, swallows nest in tree cavities and on cliff sides. However, in recent decades, they have adapted to live alongside man, nesting on and under man-made structures. These adaptable birds will also utilize birdhouses. Native Americans would hang hollow gourds by their homes to attract these insect eaters. This tradition carries on today at many nature preserves and wildlife refuges. The only difference nowadays is that the gourds are plastic. The largest and perhaps most beautiful of North America's swallows is the purple martin, named after the male's plumage. Like all bird parents, the martins are hard at work finding food for their young. Once the chicks are old enough, they will embark on a journey to the wintering grounds in South America. Our planet's bird species have captivated us for centuries, and they'll continue to do so long as we conserve their habitat. Wetlands, for example, are an often overlooked ecosystem that about 50% of American birds are dependent on for feeding and nesting. Observing birds in the wild can give us a deeper appreciation for these wild animals. Birdwatching has become popular in the United States, with about 96 million Americans participating. This fascinating activity can be done basically anywhere, whether you live in the city, the country, or somewhere in between. There are tons of books and field guides that you could buy from a bookstore or online. You can also use apps to help you identify the many bird species. Many birds won't let you get too close, so binoculars are another useful tool for observing avians. I hope that you enjoyed this 2-part series and are now inspired to explore the world of wild birds. If you enjoyed these videos, be sure to subscribe. If you have any questions about birds or other wildlife, comment below.